I don't know what to say. When I clicked on this map, the city of Troy, that looks like a massive city. Look at that. A massive city. And look at the sizes. This whole box, that's supposed to be 1 million Persians. 1 million. There's 2 million Persians in here versus about 500,000 Romans. And the Persians get to have these guys get to have archers as well. Look at this. It's huge. These maps are insanely large, and I have so many troops, I'm pretty sure it's going to lag, but wow. Look at this. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, this is King of Diamonds, and welcome to another Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2. And today, it's 2 million Persians versus 500,000 Romans, plus some archers in the mix. And looking at this, well, it's approximately 2 million Persians. They might just be in the water, actually. Let's check. Are you guys underwater? Oh, you're dead. Well, it's 1.6 million Persians versus that many. Not all of them are going to be able to get into the battlefield, but that is a lot of troops. There's supposed to be a bunch of archers as well. I had no idea where the rest of them are. There they are. Yeah, so I didn't put those Persians in a fairly safe area. And they're dying one by one as well. We'll take a look at over here. There's Persians even on top of buildings. So our Romans can't really get to them. These guys are in a fairly safe place. Wow, they are very eager for battle. This is actually... This is less so a city, more so a metropolis. Look at how huge this is. Look at those walls. The Persians are manning the walls as well. I really want to see the map here. I don't know where the archers are. Are those the archers? Let's check. So yeah, we do have, I think it's supposed to be 100,000 archers, maybe 200,000. I am losing them by the tens at the moment, so I'll have to get them to fight soon. Let's check over here, see how many died here. Yep, quite a few died. See them? They're all drowning to the water, unfortunately. But look at this. This city is massive. And it's a great thing, too. We get to see the Romans fight against the Persians. It's a whole siege. The Romans are outnumbered. Usually they would fight them with bigger numbers, but they're all over here. The archers are supposed to be somewhere over there. Wow. I underestimated the size of this place. Is there no bridge here? I thought there was a bridge here, which is why I put Romans right there. I guess they can be reinforcements. Yeah, the Romans definitely can't get through here. But look at all them roads, too. Little villages here and there. Like, the Egyptian city was about that size you see over there, minus the pyramids. Let's find out where those are. Wow, those archers are a lot farther away than I thought. I'm not going that way. Let's just go to the other Romans that are closest. I wish there were a faster way you could do this. There has to be. All I'm doing is pressing shift. It takes so long to get from one area to the other. Well, there's one bridge. Like, there's so many options to do. You can just do bridge battles like you do in Total War Rome. and just stick to those areas. You can even see all the way over here. Well, that was okay, that took a while to load in. As soon as I pull out, it just looks weird. There are a lot of entrances that have no gates or anything. It seems a bit counterintuitive. Were they too lazy to do it, or did they not have the ability to do that? And you can see a lot of Persians are just waiting to rush outside to meet the Romans. So here's the main force of Romans. They're ready to get into the fight. We better start soon before anything else happens. Like, we have very few. So at the start, 1.6 million Persians versus 540,000 Romans. Without further ado, let's go ahead and start the battle. Of course, the game will be a little bit laggy, but look at all those troops just rushing forward. It just looks like a wave going in, rushing water. And the Persians got the advantage this time. They got the high ground. The Romans had to fight their way up. And they had to fight archers. So looking at this, Romans are gunning it for those bridges. I'm hoping that they don't decide to commit suicide. I remember UEBS 1, they did commit quite a bit of suicide. Let's go ahead and take a look at this.
Are you ready? Get down.
Oh, there's so many Romans. So the Romans, looks like they don't have to fight their way onto the bridge. So you could say that's kind of a good thing for them, since they're on the offensive. The Persians will have archers to support them, so well, they have a lot more archers than the Romans will. The Romans get 60,000. I believe the Persians gets 150,000. And they're already slicing through. Oh, look over there. They're about to clash. Looks like the Romans might just be fighting over this bridge as well. Not as well, but they haven't been able to cross this bridge yet. It's going to be a bridge battle. And they'll have to fight their way through. Like, I mean, the one advantage that Persians have, they're fast. Like, they're running full sprint in armor. So now the Romans, what? They're going flying. But yeah, now it's they're just trickling their way in. They can't do anything else. That's going to be a very long battle over the bridge. It's going to be a very slow push. Doesn't look like any of them are coming through here yet. They can. Like, there are a lot of Romans and Persians that are near this bridge, but none of them are choosing to defend it. It looks like they'd rather engage in that position. So I should check how the other Romans are doing. See which way they're going. Because, oh wow, you can see the troops just rushing through the city to where the main battlefield is. I should also check and see. Oh wow, Team 1 is in a very dire straits. They've only got a few hundred kills, while the Romans got well over 1,000. But that should be fine. Persians still have 1.6 million. The Romans had the advantage in their training, but the Persians have the numbers. Oh, look at that. Look at them just trickle out of the city one by one. They're even going through the river there. The river is a little bit dry, so they should be fine. They won't die in it. Oh, that's funny. They're actually jumping down the hill just to get to there. There's so many places where these guys are trying to go. So let's go over here. Wow. That's a huge horde of soldiers just filing through the city. Just look at that. That's amazing. That's so cool. Oh, yeah, even over there. Oh, I love this map. I'm already in love with this map. I love city battles. I've always we were begging the Steel Division 2 to give us cities to fight in, but they couldn't because it turned into a massive rubble. And look at, I mean, sure, that's the whole point. Oh, first contact with the first wave of Romans. And the first kill goes to the Romans. So they're trickling in. There's not a lot of Romans coming in yet. And yeah, the Romans over here are going to get overwhelmed. That must have been the scouting force. Unfortunately, that guy did not survive. They're currently standing still for some reason. That's not good for them. Alright, they decided to move. They're moving in to engage these few Romans. The Romans are really having a lot of trouble getting their troops forward. Let's take a look at it over here. That is a massive, massive wave of Romans. So these guys are going to be fighting over the village here. They're not even on the outskirts of the city. They're just fighting for this village. This is their first objective. And the Persians are just not letting them get into formation. They are completely enveloping these guys. They're taking every advantage that they can get to keep these Romans from getting information. Okay. Romans just barely building up a front line against these guys. Barely. They're getting slaughtered, though. Look at that. The Persians might push the Romans back a little bit more. From the looks of things, wow. The Romans on this side have stopped getting reinforcements. Now they've decided to engage on the streets. And is turning into a massive line. And look at that army! It's endless! Look at the army coming through over the hillside. It's insane! And the Romans have to fight through all that. But luckily for the Romans, they have built their front line. They managed to get into formation. The Persians are losing their momentum right now. They might be able to take out a few Romans and flank them. Like maybe over here, because there are not enough Romans on this side. Yeah, but the Romans are now pretty well entrenched. Persians really attempting to surround them, which is the one advantage they'll get. They're just moving so fast, the Romans can just barely meet them. But yeah, just look at that field of blood. Look at how fast. That's just insane. The seemingly endless horde of Persians are still coming out of the city. Do you see that? That's insane. So they're still marching out of the city. I want to be able to get to the main force of the Roman troops to see how they're doing. Wow. I mean, they're coming through there, over there, over there. Those Persians are just really taking every advantage they can get. Looking over here, I think these Persians might be dead. Yeah, they're definitely dead. Yeah, and there's still a huge horde of troops over here. 1.6 million. That might as well be the whole population of Troy. Even the women and children are fighting. It looks like there's some troops trying to get through there as well. That's a gateway, it seems. That's a good choke point right there, but it seems like, whoa. Yeah, there's no gate there. They're all running through the wall. It's causing my game to freeze. So let's go over here. Romans and Persians appear to be committing suicide at the moment. No, wait, that's the archers. The Romans aren't committing suicide. They're getting shredded by the archers right now. Yeah, by the looks of things, the archers are not letting their friendly archers show up yet. They're still pretty far away. It's barely even a trickle at the moment. You can see over here a few archers rushing their way forward. Those are archers, right? Oh no. Those aren't archers. Those are footmen. That's very bad for the Romans. The Romans requested archers, but they got barbaric footmen. That's a very big problem because the Persians have 165,000 archers. And they're already racking up the kills, as you can see. 9,000 kills on the Persian side. Looking at things over here, the Romans can't even push. In fact, it looks like they might be getting pushed back. Look at all those bodies, too. Looks like some of them are even... Well, I guess luckily for the Romans, the Persians have decided to drown themselves. Well, as well as the Romans. Yep, that's UEBS for you. And looking out over here, Romans are pushing their way forward, or making their way forward. If possible, we'll want the Romans to engage those archers. So far, these guys are very effectively committing suicide. Look at that. They've all wandered into the water and died. I think more Romans have died to the sea than they have to, the river, than they have to engaging the troops. I mean, to be fair, I guess that's being lore accurate. Most troops die before they meet the battlefield. And looking at over here, yeah, the Romans are in dire straits. And the barbaric allies are here to engage. Unfortunately, the footmen, they don't have any shields. So that's very bad. If the Romans are lucky, these archers will commit suicide. But the Romans are still getting a very decent amount of kills. But by the looks of things, at the rate things are going, it won't be enough. The Romans are losing a significantly larger amount of troops than the Persians right now. Oh, wow. What happened over here? I don't know what happened, but apparently Romans ended up getting surrounded somehow and flanked. Oh, wow. Hey! Like, the Romans keep opening up new battlefields as well. Look at this. Looks like there might have been a battle over here a few seconds ago. A couple of dead Romans here. And the Persians are, like, really trying to cut off the Romans' flanks. Looks like they managed to win a few battles over here, though. Yeah. The Romans might be able to win this battle, or no, never mind. The Persians have the advantage in numbers, but you know, they might be able to win this battle. At the moment, they can't get any reinforcements over there because the Romans are getting flanked right now. They're just coming out of every nook and cranny. Over here, Romans still getting a couple of reinforcements. They're having a lot of trouble reinforcing these units. It's like every time they push out, they end up getting spread too thin and then flanked. But they are taking out their fair share of enemy troops. Over here, it's pretty much the bloodiest right now. Romans are able to properly reinforce their units for the moment. A lot of archers, a lot of Persians dying to the water. Like, they keep getting too close and getting swept away and then dying. See that? They keep getting in too deep. Always watch your step. Plus, that's gotta be 100,000 archers, and they're losing a couple of hundred, maybe even 1,000. Wow. Okay, it looks like the footmen decided that they're going to engage the enemy through here. I don't know how they'll be able to do against the Persians, but that's gotta be 65,000 footmen. These barbarians, as we will call them, that's what the Romans would call their allies, the barbarians, surprisingly have they got the advantage at the moment. They are pushing to take out the archers. Okay, never mind, they don't have the advantage. Those archers are firing so fast that the footmen go down before they can meet the enemy. But they are doing their best to take out the archers. They keep getting shot so much. They can't even climb up there because there are too many archers. It's insane. Like, the footmen are unarmored and really unable to engage those guys. But if they don't get those archers soon, or at least take out as many of them as they can, those Romans are going to have a lot of trouble. So it's a good effort, but wow, they are dying by the thousands. And I don't think they have enough troops to be able to engage them all. Let's go ahead and find out where the other force of Romans are. They should be over here. That huge blob over there. I kind of wish they had slingers in this game, but this is still in the alpha, which is unfortunate. Now you can hear their screams from here. It's a sea of blood over there right now. And you can't tell who's who yet. We're almost there. Yeah, surprisingly, a lot of Romans are committing suicide. It seems to happen a lot, but luckily it seems the Romans have successfully taken this village. And yeah, apparently the Persians have lost the advantage. They cannot, they are attempting to hold this village, but honestly it might be better if they retreated back to the city. That's where they had the advantage. That's where their archers are. I mean, they have 100,000 archers, so if they can get some archers over here, they might be able to take out a few Romans. Looking at things over here. Yeah. The Persians are way too spread thin right now. The Romans really have the advantage. There's not even a line in some places. It's just that the Romans are moving so slowly and in such camaraderie right now, and the Persians are just not in formation. They just cannot get into formation, a good formation, and that's what's getting them. It's quite possible the Romans might break this line and engage that area. And look at that. Compared to the bridge fighting over here, it's practically a cakewalk for the Romans. They're just having a hell of a time. Look at the sheer power of the Roman military. But yeah, the Persians are doing their best to hold them off. Except they're only reinforcing that flank instead of the rest of them. And they stopped receiving reinforcements at the moment. That's very bad. Pretty soon the Romans will be able to flank the enemy once again. Yeah, they've taken this area. A couple of Persians have decided to try to reinforce it, but it's going to be too little too late. Those Romans are going to push again and probably take this street. They are not receiving any reinforcements over here either. Pretty soon the Romans will take this part of the town and push through that road. But you know, the Persians are making good effort. Looks like they've reinforced this flank very well. A little bit too thin for the Persians at the moment. And if those archers had followed the Persians, they probably would have been in a better position. Right now, a few troops are fighting over this farmland. That must be some lowly noble demanding a few troops help him. Unfortunately for them, that is not a... It's not really a good tactical position to be in, but it's not as if they... It's not as if they had the luxury to not defend it. Over here, Romans have pretty much taken the road. And they've broken through that route. Oh dear. Oh, that's bad. Persians have stopped receiving reinforcements, and that's going to be... that line's going to be down in minutes. The Romans might completely take half of this village here. Yeah, Persians have up and decided that they're going to engage the troops here. They've decided that that's more important, and they're actually reinforcing it pretty well. That is a lot of Persians reinforcing this line. But now it's going through building to building at the moment. There's a small squad of Persians desperately trying to hold off the Romans. I love these small battles. They're a lot of fun. It just shows the desperate fights that these Persians are doing. They're just fighting for every inch of land that they can, and they're just not giving anything up without giving the Romans a bloody nose. Everywhere a person goes, it stops the Romans for at least a few minutes. And look at it over here. More Romans are flanking into this side. Persians, with their quick thinking, are flanking those guys. Oh dear. Yeah, it looks like that line's about to collapse. You can see that they're almost towards the edge of the map now. The Persians just don't want to let up for whatever reason, even in places where they shouldn't be going. As you can see over here, the Romans are about to meet another company of Persians, another company of troops here. There might be a new line of defense over here. Like, they are not letting them through without a fight. And by the looks of things, the Romans have almost completely taken over the town. And you can see that battlefield over there is amazing. It seems that the Romans and Persians have decided that the next part of the battlefield is going to be over there, and that's what they're going to do. We'll go, once the Romans have completely taken over this village, we'll go ahead and check how the other guys are doing. Maybe the Romans are doing better than they were earlier, but who knows? The only way we'll know that is if the Romans have managed to push past the bridge. Ouch. And looks like that line is basically dissipated. They stopped receiving reinforcements. And Romans are flanking the enemy over here. They're about to get surrounded. A few Persians are attempting to save that flank, but it'll be too late. This Persian squad is completely surrounded now. They have nowhere to run. They can't run away. Not that they would. They don't know the meaning of fear. They just know run, kill, die. But yeah, it's official. Romans have completely taken this village, and pretty soon they'll be heading towards the city, but that's probably going to be another maybe 10-20 minutes. Over here, there are troops just running around outside. There's still quite a few of them. Many of them archers, many of them Persians. Let's see how many are archers. Okay, not many of them are archers, but they are moving pretty fast. They're going to be engaging the barbaric footmen. I mean, look at that. They are very eager beavers. Let's see how many. Wow. So, looks like the footmen are actually doing fairly well against the Persians. I guess I shouldn't underestimate the barbarians all that much. They are decently armored. They just don't like to wear shields. We should check. There are not very many of these barbarians left, though. By the looks of things, the archers... Yeah, there are a lot of archers. they're going to be engaging whatever footmen are left. Yeah, they completely slaughtered whatever footmen that's... Well, not this group of footmen. Must be being led by another general. Wow. And I guess compared to the footmen over here, they are slaughtering the archers right now. So good on them. Good on these barbarians. I had low expectations of you. I did not request you guys, but you know, the person who sent you, I'm pretty satisfied. Like you're doing your job. You're making your money. We'll be sure to send some good aid to you guys, and probably not steal your wealth or anything, because you know you kind of deserve it. I mean, provided that we win this battle. That is, we as in the Romans. If the Romans don't win this, then you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Yeah, and unfortunately for these footmen, it looks like they've just been tuckered out. They've killed quite a few archers, though, so that's good news for them. A lot of the archers are peeling off to engage the footmen, though. That's quite a few. And there's not enough footmen to engage these guys, so... And looking over here, Romans still unable to push these guys very much. They have killed quite a few Persians, but quite a few of these Romans have died as well. I mean, look at that field of dead. The moment they put their head out, the archers just slaughter them. And there's just so many of them too. And over here, Romans aren't being engaged as much as by the archers. They got a very large line here. Like their back lines are huge. We'll check up over here. The Romans not doing as well. They're not able to reinforce their troops as fast. And by the looks of things, that's going to break quite a few times until they can actually really make any difference. But yeah, you can see the field of dead. Quite a few Romans have died to these Persian soldiers. And they're doing whatever it is they can to take them out, but... Okay, looks like they've managed to stabilize this area. Quite a few victories the Romans have managed to make. And looking at things over here, they've been more or less stable. It's been just a constant back and forth battle between these guys. And honestly, I don't see that battle ending. And I don't really see the Romans winning the battle over here. There's just too many reinforcements and too many dead Romans. Looking at this, the Romans have lost well over 100,000, but they have taken out 245,000. And the barbaric footmen have taken out a few of the enemy archers, peeling off some of the damage that these Romans have been taking. Unfortunately for the Romans, I don't know. It feels like they want to make their own bridge for whatever reason. I mean, you look at that sea of bodies right now. And there's just a whole sea of archers. Luckily, they're committing suicide, but that doesn't make much difference when the Romans are doing it as well. So looking over here, the footmen are just too few and far between. If they once they lose this battle, I should say, once they lose this battle, those troops are going to probably attempt to flank either the Romans over there or the Romans over there. But either way, this is going to be a pretty deadly battle. They just can't defend against an army like that. Yeah. There's just a huge combination of archers and Persians, and I don't see any way these guys can win. I probably should have given them 100,000 troops, and look at that. Most of them are getting killed before they can reach the enemy. This is why you always bring a shield to battle. Sure, it looks cool, you look fancy with all that armor, but, you know, you're not medieval knights armored like tanks that can just bounce off arrows. You're literally footmen. You can only take out these Persians, and not very well, because those archers are just overwhelming you. I don't know what's going down over here. Yeah, unfortunately for these footmen, these guys have basically lost their any advantage that they might have had. And that was 65,000. See, it's because of this bridge. The biggest advantage that the Persians have is that the Romans have to cross these bridges in order to make it to the enemy. Yeah, it's just it's just a slaughter fest here. Romans may be having a bit of fun making kills, but these footmen are not having fun. Oh look, some Romans came in to help them. At least he's getting some kills. Oh, and he's dead. Oh look, another Roman. You can do it! Nope, that's unfortunate. Yeah, looks like they've won their fight over here. Let's see where they go. Looks like they're trying to make a decision right now. Doesn't look like any of them... really, they're just standing there. They don't know what to do. They just won a major battle here. But looks like these guys know what they're doing. They're doing their best to attempt to flank the enemy wherever they may be. Well, looks like there was even a battle over here. There's just Romans in random places for some reason. So let's go ahead and head back over here. We need to see how those Romans are doing. They're getting close to pushing over the mountain. That's about it. Oh, but they have left certain areas so that we can see the aftermath. So we're going to go ahead and see how that's doing. I want to see the aftermath of some of these battles. I mean, you can see the areas over here where they had just major fights. Persians doing their best to reinforce, but the Romans were able to kill them faster than reinforce. Like over here, they broke and they realigned over here. Like this was the bloodiest of the... We'll call them the southern flank. This was one of the bloodiest battles of the southern flank. And they just kept on moving forward, with the Persians being less and less able to set up a good position to fight in. And they held over here for quite a good while, actually. This was a very good position for them to defend. They just couldn't get reinforcements enough because the Romans were very much out-positioning them. And over here, you can see where they were attempting to hold lines at the village. So very good tactical positions, just not enough reinforcements to be able to hold them. And they did not get any archer support, which is also a problem. Looking at things over here, they attempted to put a decent position, but couldn't. Now over here, they for some odd reason decided to extend their lines, but not really reinforce it enough, and that resulted in the Romans achieving, well, basically cutting their way through the center there, and just, you know, it started falling apart in certain areas. And over here, it looks like they built a fairly effective line that lasted for a short while, but once again they managed to break through. Romans, looks like they've basically completely taken this village, and now they are working to take this hill. Persians are currently attempting to defend this hill. So right now they do have the height advantage, so that's good for them. They're fighting every which position they can fight them in. Over here, yeah, Persians aren't really able to reinforce them well enough. They are holding this position here, but if they don't reinforce it, they're not going to reinforce them by the looks of things. They have to, but they are getting archer support now, so that's good for them. The Persians are not getting any reinforcements on that side. This, which is a very much missed opportunity. Look at how quickly this line's getting shredded. They are just shredding their way through. And they're also taking on archers as well. Not enough archers, unfortunately, but that's still a near endless amount of troops approaching them. And Romans are still struggling to push up this hill. They can barely do it. Like they're taking really high casualties, so it's good for the Persians. Persians are really doing the work. The Romans have lost well over 137,000 troops. Persians lost 360,000, so it's a 3-to-1 odds. I think the Persians might be able to win this. Despite the fact that the Romans are able to effectively push, it's just this area. Are they not getting reinforcements? There's not reinforcing this part. So we gotta see how things are going over here. once again, it is a very uphill battle for the Romans. So the Persians are getting their second wind. They are taking advantage of that. They are really making them bleed as they attempt to climb up this hill. Romans just can't seem to find their footing, and that might actually cause the Persians to achieve a victory over here in the long run. Not win the battle here, mind you, because the Romans are finding even ground to engage these Persians. But the Romans had taken a decent amount of casualties because of the fact that they have to fight an uphill battle. So I'm going to leave this area. We're going to go ahead and check how the troops are doing over here. I want to see if any Persians are attempting to flank them. If not, that's understandable. That's pretty far away. But you can see where a few battles happened. Very deadly. You can see the footmen did not fare well at all. Yeah, Persians are flanking the Romans right now. That's very, very bad for the Romans. They are... Whatever troops they had, they're peeling off. They are not getting any more reinforcements. They're peeling off to engage that measly amount of troops. Actually, I should probably check out how they're doing. Looks like they've had a few small skirmishes here and there. And they're taking on the archers, so I guess them peeling off isn't really a bad idea. The Romans are shielded, so it gives them an advantage to fight against these archers. And they are killing quite a few of them. Yeah, by the looks of things, the Romans might be able to take out a few thousand, and that will basically put a dent, and well, they'll just ruin their ability to fight the Romans. If they can win this battle, that might be 10 or 20,000 archers right there. So Romans have found a good reason to fight, a good way to find victory. And if they can push through that bridge, they can also flank the enemy. Maybe finally make a difference in this battle, because it is by far the deadliest battle these Romans have had to fight. Like, this battle's already going on for well over 50 minutes now. Almost an hour. Archers desperately trying to kill the Romans. If they don't get any Persians to back them up, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. And you can see a lot of the archers have stopped on the bridge, which is preventing any Persians from reinforcing this area. So now it's basically turning into a free-for-all until the Romans have to fight their way across this bridge. And they will be forced to go across the same problem that they're going through way over there. That is to try to fight their way to the archers, which they most likely won't be able to do. And the Romans only had 350,000 troops left. So they don't have much of an advantage at this point. I really wish I gave the Romans those archers at this, because that's not good. That's not good at all. First I give the Persians a disadvantage, now I give the Romans a very big disadvantage. Oh, just look at that barrage of arrows coming in after them too. Yeah, archers are getting pushed back towards a river. Romans are crossing that bridge too. Oh, that's just a barrage of arrows, and most of them are bouncing off the shields. And unfortunately for them, they are committing suicide. Oh wow, there's so many arrows that they're actually killing a lot of Romans before they can meet them on the battlefield. Eesh. Those choke points, guys. They're dying so fast. That must be the bulk of the archery force right now. So yeah, that's going to be a problem for the Romans. Now they're having to fight over a bridge, and that is not a position you want to be in, ever. Over here, archers and Persians both drowning together. And wow, that hail of arrows, dude. The Romans are actually getting pushed back because there are just so many archers. They have lost whatever advantage they may have had. You can see they're getting hit by archers over here as well. Like, there's just so many Persians. I kind of want to do this battle again, but this time the Romans get archers and maybe a few thousand more troops, because this was highly unfair for the Romans. And the Romans have no more reinforcements on this flank. That's very bad. I don't want to do a part 2 of this. I'm going to go all the way. This is going to last a lot longer than I was hoping, but I mean, this is a fun battle. I mean, Romans, they can do very well against footmen alone, but those archers, even with the shields that they have, they can't seem to catch a break. And now it looks like their flanks are going to break fairly soon. A lot of Romans are sliding down the hill and dying as well. So many troops dying to attrition. Yeah, those archers, man, they don't show you any mercy. That's 100,000 archers, dude. 100,000. By the looks of things, the Romans finally managed to catch a little bit of a break. They are pushing-ish, engaging what Persian archers they can come against. Those shields are doing the work. They're doing their best to move against these archers. It's just that there's so many Persians mixed in with these archers that it's giving the Romans an awful lot of trouble. They have to win this battle over here. If they can't, well, if they can't, then they can't. It's unfortunate for them. But it's incredibly bloody, and they're just only able to trickle their way forward. Persians, every time it looks like they're going to make it towards those archers, Persians just show up and get in their way. So let's go ahead and see how the other force is doing. I would assume that they're faring much better. Let's look at the things over here. It's a good thing that the Persians have lost a few 100,000 of their troops. Otherwise, it would be completely unfair for the Romans. Well, looking over here, Romans looks like they're actually catching a break. They did have a fairly bloody battle trying to push up that hill. Just look at all that blood. And it was not going in favor of the Romans either. They may have been able to push the Persians back, but that did cause them to take a few casualties. They still are. Look at that blood running down that hill. That's so cool. Yeah. But yeah, the Romans have officially broken this line. And they'll pretty soon, they'll be marching upon the city. Yeah, there's not very many Persians left on this side. They're having trouble reinforcing the flanks. They're too busy reinforcing this choke point, which, I mean, it's good for them. A bit too little too late. And honestly, it looks like the Romans are going to push their way to engage over here. If the Persians are lucky, they might be able to hold them off until the main force of archers arrive. Yeah, but the Romans have been having very major victories. They have to be exhausted by now, all rushing in to take out these Persians. And look at all those bodies just sliding down that hill, including some Romans too. Okay, great Roman victory over here. And now, basically, the Persians, whatever reinforcements they get, they're going to be forced to fight uphill now. And it would be better for them if they retreated. I mean, look at this. Over here, successfully managing a choke point. That will take them quite a few minutes. Quite a few minutes to move. I'm just going to leave it here for you guys. I'll be right back. Okay then. So as of yet, Romans have not yet broken through, but doesn't look like these Persians are getting any more reinforcements, which is very bad for them. In just a few minutes, that line's just going to be non-existent. A lot of Persian troops and Roman troops just falling down that hill. Don't lose your footing, guys. Don't lose them. Yeah. Okay, looks like those lines are breaking really fast, and the Romans are doing their best to flank these guys. Getting stopped by one or two every few seconds. But once again, they looks like the Romans are going to beat this choke point here. And not really many archers to be seen. Romans have managed to get a decent amount of kills. Persians are at less than 1 million, but honestly, Romans are almost below that 300,000 mark, and if it comes to that, I don't believe that they'll be able to win. But they might be able to make a comeback. After all, this side... Wow, what is that? It looks like Romans and Persians all fell to their death. They're all falling to their death. What are you guys doing? Stop climbing up there. This is suicide. So Romans and Persians are all... Why? I really don't know why, but these guys are all committing suicide. Nobody's going to win that battle. I'm going to call that the Battle of Idiots, because that's a... There's really no victory to be had over there. And Persians can't really find a line of defense over on this side. They are distracting the Romans. Oh, I think I saw some arrows here and there. Archers are engaging the Romans at this moment. But they're only trickling in by the 10s and 20s. You can see quite a few of them. By the looks of things, I think a few might have died trying to cross this river. Yeah, they end up with so many troops running through that a few of them trip and drown. They're not longer getting any reinforcements in certain areas either. So this is like the bulk of their troops right now. This is probably a couple 100,000 of them. Now looking over here. Wow. Those aren't archers, are they? Let me check. No, those are Persians. Persians and more Persians. Can't see any archers over here. Whoa. Okay, whatever reason, looking inside the city causes quite a bit of lag. Let's go look at things over here. A lot of Persians attempting to cross this bridge over here. A sheer number of bridges. Some are even crossing rivers just to get to the enemy. Some... This is where we spawned on the map. A lot of them died here. Yeah, that endless amount of reinforcements coming out of there. That has to be terrifying for the Romans, because they're not getting enough reinforcements now. A lot of Romans, this is what's left of their Romans too. They can't win. They're going to be overwhelmed. They're going to be overwhelmed. Over here, Romans are getting engaged by archers. So that battle's going to be very short-lived. We'll check this area. Not many Romans left over on this side either. And looks like their flanks have actually thinned out a little bit. They're doing their best to push forward, but endless number of troops. Romans also pushing their way through here, but they're also getting engaged by archers. And over here, Romans are actually getting pushed back. There's nothing they can do about that. They're just... there's not that many Persians but pushing at this point, but they don't really need that many anymore. They just need the full force of those archers. And over here, not very many Romans, and it doesn't look like the Romans have been able to push all that far. We'll check, see how they've been doing. They are still getting shredded as they push through here. Lots of engagements between Persians and archers and Romans, but I don't see them winning this. They're just peeking their head out and getting slaughtered. So those Persians are really doing the work right now. A few of them get too close, but that's not going to matter. It's embarrassing at this point. The Romans just trying to push through there. Romans end up with just no support from archers at all. And I feel like I don't really see the Romans winning this battle over here. More and more Persians keep trickling in, and more Romans are just getting destroyed by those archers, and they cannot move forward anymore. They're getting pushed back. And the archers are getting the high ground over here as well. Over here, it just looks like a hopelessly endless sea of troops right now. Romans coming in very much underprepared. I'm still willing to give the Romans a second try on this map. Over here, there's no victory to be had. They're also getting engaged by archers. Yeah. And they're about to be flanked by those Persians as well. See, it's quality versus quantity, and the Romans, at the moment, they have neither of it. Because those archers are deadly. A few Romans are peeling off right now. They're going to end up getting shot from behind by those archers. See, that one just got killed. Completely surrounded. They can't push forward, they can't push back. These guys are about to be eliminated. Once that's done, I'm pretty sure that's the end for this Romans on the left flank, or the western side. They are taking out their fair share. But again, there's 900,000 troops. What are they going to do with only 280,000 troops? Okay, looks like some Romans have actually managed to jump over the railing to try to engage these guys. Not really able to do much. Still getting killed. Still getting slaughtered. Over here, the Romans are attempting to fight their way out, but they're also getting killed fairly quickly. Not that the Romans can fight their way out. Yeah, very, very small line of troops now for the Romans. They're doing their best, but which one will last the longest, I wonder? Looks like this one might die quicker due to the fact that the archers are engaging them. They are killing their fair share of troops. But for how long? And Romans are just being forced into a corner, and yeah, looks like the guys on the left are going to lose quicker than the guys on the right. There's still troops trying to reinforce them too. Okay, looks like they've pretty much won that battle over there. Not sure why some of them are standing around. But now those Romans are gonna get surrounded. There's really nothing they can do about it. Yep. Praetorian's last stand over here. Not even an option to retreat. Back to the wall. Completely overwhelmed on that bridge. Doesn't matter how many troops you have, if you can't Kill them, they're useless. Romans, they keep pushing out, but they keep thinning out their lines and losing a lot more than they should. And that's just very bad for them. Over here, again, their lines keep thinning out and they're losing thousands of troops. And they can't even push because archers. I mean, look at it over here. There's so many archers engaging them that they're actually getting pushed back. The sheer number of Persians, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter how many they take out. It just, the moment they take out 100 Persians, 1,000 more take their place. Let's take a look at things over here. Rome's getting pushed back by the Persians. They've actually developed a... They barely developed a line, but they got a line over here. They can't even engage those archers because Persians just keep on pushing through. They cannot push them over here. They can't push them. They can't hit any archers. I was getting really hopeful, but just look at that. They just keep coming. So I do have to check how things are doing. Looks like the Romans are at the gates now. The only group that's successfully managed to make their way through, that might not be able to last too long. You can still see an endless amount of troops, but the Romans have at least managed to make progress here. And that's the only good news that we had. I don't think they'll be able to take out those archers, though. There's just too many. They look like they're just standing around in some places, too. A lot of them are falling to the deaths. I don't know why they're engaging in some places. Some of them are getting stuck. A couple of battles on the outskirts of the gates, but they're pushing their way inside the gates. They're right here at the gates now. Few archers are engaging the Romans, but they're because of how small these corners are, they're not going to be effective enough to take them all out. So Romans have a very decent advantage over there. Over here, a couple of archers. There's very few of them, but I guess the more archers over here, the less the Romans over there have to worry about. Not that it really matters. I think they got like 80,000 archers left right now. They're already pushing their way through over here. Persians really struggling right now. They'll be able to have an advantage over at that bridge. If they can hold that bridge, then the Romans will have the advantage. Over here, they're trickling out here and here. And Romans really actually, they're having a little bit of trouble pushing these Persians. They're killing quite a few of the Persians, but they're getting reinforced just enough so that the archers can get a few kills. And over here, massive battle in the outskirts of the city. I can't believe I missed that. A lot of archers are engaging these Romans too. There's got to be about 1,000 or so, maybe 10,000. There's engagements just about everywhere. Romans trapping a few in houses and villas. Yep. Making short work of those archers. These guys are just having a field day. It's because the Romans just aren't being forced to engage enemies on bridges or anything, which is the biggest problem the Romans have. All you have to do is put a few men on a bridge, a couple thousand archers, and you're good. Luckily, a few Persians are managing to slow down the Romans enough to save those archers so they can make a few kills. It's over here where the archers are deepest right now. I don't know if they'll be able to push fast enough to kill those archers, but they are getting those kills. And that's the one good news the Romans have had in quite a while. Not that it seems to matter. There's still 800,000 left. Archers are just wall to wall right now, doing their best to slow down those Romans until the main force can come in and stop them from doing any harm. I mean, look at this. There's so many Persians over here. They're not able to get through anymore. You're all engaging over there. A couple over here. Definitely a couple trying to get in through here. Yeah, Romans have been fairly successful on this side. And they are pushing into the city. Very, very thin line over here too. Yeah, Romans breaking through everywhere they can find, and they're killing any archer they can find. There are a few choke points that these Romans had to get through, but quite a few of these archers are trapped right now. Over here, Romans having a bit harder of a time, and there are a decent amount of archers getting shots in. So that's good for them. It is an uphill battle. But there are Persians mixed with archers over here, and it's actually not doing too well for them. For the Persians, I mean. So this battle over here is marginally successful. We should go ahead and check and see if the Romans over there, see if any of them are still alive. There's just so many Persians that have cleared out of here. Eagerly killing any Romans that might be left, and by the looks of things, yeah, they're still alive, but I don't see them winning this battle. Romans are having to peel off because Persians have actually broken through certain areas. They're still getting slaughtered by those arrows. All of them. You know what they said from Persia? Our arrows will blot out the sun, then we shall rest in the shade or something like that. But the Romans, they're not having a fun time. That line's thinning out very, very fast. Those Persians really don't want to give them any rest. Don't want them to get those archers at all. Over here, Romans have really been thinned out too. They can't push. They can only die. It's just an endless onslaught, and the Romans are losing. Yeah, I really probably should have sent the Romans archers. The number advantage is, it's just harrowing. And that line has thinned out even more. The Romans just don't have an army right now. They've actually been pushed back over here. They're doing their best to hold those guys. So at this point, all they're doing is distracting these troops. Oh, you can see how far the Romans actually managed to push them too. It's just such an endless battle for control, and eventually they just could not reinforce these Romans enough. So I'm going to change things up a bit. I'm going to give the Romans maybe 100,000 more troops, and this time they get to have 50,000 archers compared to the enemy's 100,000. And I'm going to put those 50,000 on two sides. Yeah. The Romans are getting killed way before they can meet the enemy. Yep, this is why you don't split your forces. Or maybe why you do, because the Persians split their forces and they're doing just fine. Sheer number of soldiers that get killed, endless. And look, as if to insult them, they're just sending even more. The entire city is engaging these guys. They don't even have to be well trained. They just completely overwhelm them. They don't know what fear is. What is that? All they know is kill. Oh, Romans, seem to have achieved a slight breakthrough. Not that it seems to matter. They're trying to engage those archers, I should say, and they're dying pretty fast. They're only able to kill one or two archers at a time. Over here, yeah, those reinforcements are just not coming. Oh, looks like over here the Romans did manage to stop any reinforcements. Not that it seems to matter. This flank is only... they can hold them off long enough, but they're going to be engaged from behind. They're in no position to win any battles right now. Plus, they have a little over 210,000, 250,000 troops. They don't have the advantage because they're being forced to fight across bridges with no support. And they're just getting punished for it. Over here, they've almost completely lost any troops that they might have had. And they're going to be flanked fairly soon. Over here, the only relatively larger size number of troops seems a bit hopeless, especially looking at all those Persians. Archers really... yeesh. I mean, seriously, they're not giving them a break. I want to see how the other guys are doing, but it looks like they are going to lose this battle over here. And once they lose the battle over here, they lose the war, and they lose it quickly. Over here, this line, almost completely gone. They cannot do anything about those numbers, and they're just... seems kind of hopeless for them. Man, there's so many arrows coming through here. You can barely see the Romans now. Although it looks like they're all blinking and everything. There's not very many left. They're just getting slaughtered. Yep, Romans have lost this battle over here. Just look at that. They couldn't do anything. Now, flanks are exposed. They don't have enough troops to push. They don't have any way to engage those archers. I'm going to call it now. They are going to lose very, very soon. And we're not going to be able to see that, I don't think, because I need to see how the battle is going on over towards the east, I should say. This is probably the east. Troops have mostly cleared the cities. Right now, Romans, in a bit of a problem. They're attempting to push over this bridge. The Persians and the Romans both are, but if they can't cross this bridge, then they will be sitting ducks to the enemy's archers. Over here, Looks like the Romans cannot push this position. They're stuck. They're also getting engaged by archers, but not by many at the moment. If they can kill them fast enough, they might be able to take out those archers that are engaging them. In fact, they need to push out. Over here, Romans kind of stuck right now. They cannot cross through there for some reason. They're just staring at each other. Take a look at things over here. Romans are crossing through here, but they're getting engaged by archers. So that's the one thing that the Romans did not want to see. They are stuck over there. We'll take a look at things over here. They are pushing. They're engaging archers and a few Persians. Yeah, that's got to be 1,000 archers on that street. So Romans are going to be taking out these archers over here. They have been really, really making the Romans mad. They are very unhappy with these archers. I mean, look at this. It's a street-to-street battle. Every nook and cranny, these archers are ambushing them. And over here, it's mostly archers that they're engaging right now. You can see archers and Persians. Whoa, bit of lag right there. More archers, more Persians. They can't get through here for some reason. They're stuck. I wish they would fix that, to be honest. Romans cannot get through in some places due to the fact that there's some kind of blockage. So now the Romans are basically fighting to a standstill, and they can't do anything. Yeah, I'm really going to have to move these guys. Over here, lines thinning out. And they're really starting to push through. They just need to take on those archers, which they're not for some reason. Okay, a few of them have finally decided to kill those archers. Well, that's odd. They're actually shooting through this building here, which is not good. We can't let that happen. It seems to be the only place that these guys are able to push, and they're actually having to take on quite a few archers right now. Luckily for them, the archers are trying to fight on the front lines. Yeah, it's 684,000 versus 196,000 now. Somehow the Romans pushed by 1 foot. Okay, now they got pushed back 1 foot. That's really unfortunate for them. Over here. It's kind of a really pointless battle. Even over here, these guys cannot cross. I wonder if I can do... Please push. I wish I could directly control these guys, but I can't. Oh, I'm going to exit RTS mode. Over here, once again, Persians have successfully made a choke point, I should say, and it's just going to turn into that type of battle all over again. There are fewer and fewer places where these guys can push. Yeah, Romans are engaging a lot of archers too. Yeah, big problems for the Romans. They just they've hit so many choke points they can't push. Over here, another choke point where they're having a lot of trouble pushing. There are just too many Persians right now, and I don't think they're going to be able to push over there. We'll go ahead and check over here to see how that bridge over there is doing. So Romans have managed to push them back to this bridge over here. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to push through that bridge anytime soon. And there's just so many troops over here. That'll take them hours to clear out. We'll take a look at things over here. Yeah, it looks like Romans have Persians have pushed the Romans so far back, they're actually getting flanked over there. I think I see troops over there, I don't know. Let's take a look at things over here. Really, it just Romans scattered about, getting completely overwhelmed. Rome's got surrounded over here by the looks of things. Yeah, Rome's completely surrounded and dead as soon as we got there. Now they're getting hit on all sides by archers as well. Over here, Romans are actually pushing. Won't be for long, but they are pushing. But yeah, these guys are getting shredded. And that group of Romans are now dead. We're gonna go over here, see how these guys are faring. Not very many Romans left. Not very many Romans. I'm calling it they lost as soon as they hit the choke points. If they could have properly crossed that bridge, get all their troops across that bridge, they probably would have been fine. But now, this city here has way too many choke points for an offensive unit to be able to push. And now they're engaging with every Persian soldier that exists. See that? They're moving in to flank the enemy now. But yeah, now the Romans are getting flanked, getting hit by archers, getting hit by Persians. They don't have enough troops to hold this line here. They're going to get pushed back, and they're going to get pushed back hard. But honestly, this is something that the Romans needed. They needed to engage the troops out on the battlefield instead of over a bridge. But now these Romans are getting... they're about to get surrounded. But they did do their fair share of kills, at the very least. They did do a decent amount of kills. Right now, Romans are getting... they're getting hit from behind, from the behind. Yeesh, that is bad. They're just Romans falling over to archers. There's really nothing they can do right now but stand and fight their final stand. Look at those archers out in the open. They're just having a field day. They don't have to worry about getting hit anymore. Now over here, Romans are also having to peel off. Not that it'll matter. They're just getting completely overwhelmed. I really should have helped them with the archers, guys. Really should have helped them. Really too bad that you didn't. Okay, Romans are completely enveloped now over here. Oh, they're getting killed fast too. Yep. Look at the blood. Ouch. Can't even do anything now. Yep, just another scenario. Romans basically lost this position. It's too bad. Persians were just too fast for them. Yep, Romans all dead. Every single one of them dead over here. I don't know if they would have had any advantage, but look at this. See those lumps? These guys are standing over bodies of the dead. For some reason, some of these guys are drowning themselves. I don't know why. But that's what they're doing over here. Persians engaging what's left of the Romans. And there's not many of them left. In fact, they are very much losing the battle now. There's just no hope for them right now. Completely surrounded and fighting on top of a hill. I would like to know how many archers they managed to take out, though. 'Cause that's supposed to be about 100,000 archers, and these guys have been unable to kill any of them. Well, they've been able to kill some of them, but they did, on the area I'm at, they've barely been able to kill any. I mean, look at that. They're getting engaged by archers everywhere. Again, large number of archers pushing in to engage those Romans. Not enough Romans to engage those archers. They are counter-attacking, but they won't be able to push those archers back. They ran forward. They're going to kill maybe 10 or 20 more archers, and then they're going to die. Over here, major field battle, completely unsuccessfully engaging the archers. Persians are moving so fast that they can't. The Romans just can't break through towards those archers. They have to kill those archers. Like, you can see their line's so thin, but the Persians are reinforcing it so fast. The Romans can't push through. In fact, they're actually going to lose this fairly soon without taking out any archers at all. Yep, that's yikes. Let me get in through over here. So this is their final side on this flank. No victory for them. They're also getting outflanked right now. Yeah, Romans weren't able to react fast enough. They could not get those archers, and now they're getting enveloped once again. We'll take a look over here, see if any of them are alive. Some of them, but they're getting shredded by the archers. Look at how fast they fall down to those archers. Seriously, that's just unfair. Yep, I'm gonna call here, those barbarians, they betrayed the Romans. There was never going to be any reinforcements. No archers to support the troops. I think those Romans are going to have to make a little bit of a visit to those guys. Okay. Persians have officially won the battle on the western flank. It was an incredibly bloody battle. Many Persians died. In fact, there's like 587,000 left versus 168,000 of the Romans. And a lot of these Persians, for some reason, still want to commit suicide. Over here, I guess it's like more Romans dead than Persians right now. Bodies everywhere. I don't know why these guys are still going that way. They should be turning around, which they are now. Persians now turning around. Or they're just going that way. They need to stop soon. They had to reinforce the flank now that they've won the battle. Because the Persians have successfully managed to basically slow down the Roman army. They cannot push anymore. If you look at the flanks over here, there are just so many Persians the Romans cannot push. I'm not going to help them. I would like for the Romans to win. But where'd the fun in that be? Massive amount of Romans over here. Massive amount of Romans pushing through here. Let's see how they're faring. They are barely able to push through this checkpoint. They're all engaging a lot of Persians. So many Persians have reinforced this point that basically the archers are making short work of these Romans. And there's barely any archers in sight. Things are going... They're going. The battle over here is pretty ridiculous. They're just fighting through choke points, unable to push. Even over here, they push 2 feet and that's it. Over here, they pushed a foot and that's it. Let's see how things are going over here. They haven't pushed a foot yet. They haven't really done much yet. And Romans are actually climbing over the bodies over the dead just to push these guys. Again, can't push because archers. Over here, Romans doing their best to push, but can't do too well because archers. Over here, Romans have actually managed to push through and are engaging on a semi-open field. If they can push those Persians, they can engage those archers. If they sent more troops, they might be more successful. They have to send more troops. Like, they've had a fairly deadly battle over here. They're not pushing over there anymore, and That's not good for them. That's their best bet at winning this battle. See how things are going over here. Rome is still unable to push this position. It's just too small of a choke point for Romans to push. And there are too many Persian reinforcements. Too many archers. Whoa, don't freeze on me. Couple archers over here. Romans over here. Romans pushing over here, apparently. They are getting a few kills in. Check this flank. Romans not going to be able to win this flank. Too many archers, too many Persians. Looks like Persians have decided that they want to go through here. And Romans are here to meet them. A couple of archers are engaging them too. Hopefully the Romans will be successful in this endeavor, because they're having to push through here too, and they're not having any success. In fact, I feel like that the Persians are getting, yep, they're getting reinforced over here. Lots of reinforcements making their way towards the remainder of the Roman troops. They've taken out 800,000, but I just don't see them winning. There's still about 600,000 more to go. Kind of things over here, they're just bodies and troops and bodies. Like, these guys don't really have much to do, they're just standing around in lines and the like. I mean, they deserve a good rest, I suppose. They won that battle, and they don't need to do anything else. Looking at things over here, they have been... They've actually, a few of them have drowned in this river over here. There's just so many of them. I didn't even notice. We'll take a look at things over here. It's just a huge field of dead bodies. You see in areas where Romans managed to push and were subsequently pushed back. Yeah, the Romans had no way of achieving victory. They could kill, they could kill, they could kill some more, but they can't keep killing when there's a couple million more. And all these Persians are running back to reinforce their eastern front. So Romans are just running out of troops and they're running out of time. They can't really seem to do anything anymore. They find every front line they can make, but there's just so many flanks now. Can't even push forward because of the archers. Over here, they managed to get quite a few troops to push forward. Still pretty unsuccessful as of late to push these guys. A lot of troops are pushing forward, but not... I don't see any victory, any push going on over here. Yeah, Romans can't push here. They're at a standstill. We'll take a look at things over here. Romans can't push. They're actually getting pushed back. Over here, Romans semi-pushing forward. Yeah, I can't tell how things are going over here. There are a lot of archers nearby. Some odd reason, an awful lot of troops are dying over here. I think it might be friendly fire. I didn't think you could friendly fire your own troops, though. I'm surprised. But that's fine. Go ahead and friendly fire your troops. I'm here once again. Romans not really able to push. There's just a field of dead right there. Over here, more dead people. Lots of dead Romans too. They're doing their best to push this route over here. Really can't do anything about this area. They're doing their best, but they can't really push. Looks like the Romans have lost their flank over here and are now being engaged by Persian troops. Romans are here attempting to rebuild that flank. With any luck, they'll take out a few archers. Not that it'll matter. Honestly, these Romans don't have any place they can push anymore. So yeah, they kind of need to fix their ability to get through things. Over here, just too many archers engaging these Romans, so it's just another bridge battle. But as a choke point. And here it's archers, Persians, and Romans. Romans are able to push. This is probably the only place where they'll have a little bit of success. Romans are slowly pushing forward, but that's about it. They can't kill them fast enough. Over here, Romans... It looks like it's turning into a choke point for them as well. If they could at least push out a little bit more, they might be able to establish a proper front, but I think they're getting shredded by the archers now. So nothing they can do about that. Over here, their line's starting to get spread thin. Lots of Romans over here, still unable to push. Yeah, these choke points kind of need to be fixed because they can only fight one at a time. They can't push through these walls, and that needs to be fixed. You know, I should probably get a few of these troops to move somewhere. I'll grab you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna have them move. Because this battle is just going to not end for another few hours at this rate if I don't get them to move. Over here, it's just almost to the second floor, or the roof of the second floor. So many troops have died. Oh, I can press F to possess a unit? I didn't realize that. Let's possess a unit then. I said press F the unit to possess, but I can't seem to possess a unit. Oh! Yay! I can move! I did 300 points! Oh, I actually killed 6. I'm surprised. So here's something to buy at the time, I guess. I got 14 kills. That sounds fun. All right. Let's take a look over here. Okay, Romans aren't getting any reinforcements anymore. That's very unfortunate. If they can push forward a little, that would be great. It's way too many troops. Yeah, over here, Romans can barely push. They're just reinforcing them a little too fast. We need to find an area where we can get them to push. Over here, they seem to have, looks like they're finally... I want to push these guys back. I really do. I don't see them winning this battle if they can't, and they're getting hit from behind, they're getting hit from archers. If they could just push through. Ah, and he got killed by an archer. Yeah, it looks like this is the one place where they're most likely to be successful. How do I deselect them? Just go that way. I don't need you to listen to me, I just need you guys to go. And go away. Come on, guys, push forward. I want you to actually do something, because I don't like choke points at this point. It's been 2 hours. And he's dead. Romans are now flooding on through. I really need you guys to push on through. Come on. Yeah, they're getting... I don't know who's hitting them. I don't know how they're getting hit so easily. But they are taking out those annoying archers, so... Oh, there's so many archers, why? Just get through, please. Oh, come on. Every time if you get through, a few hundred more show up. Please, just kill the archers. They're like machine guns. I want you guys to kill them. Please, just get through there. At least they're getting through in some places, but not in all of them. I just need to help them through. Because I just have to. This AI is too dumb. Otherwise, nothing will happen. This game has gone on long enough. They won't be able to win anyway, probably. So 154,000 versus 500,000. Let's take a look at things over here. Romans can't even push over here. Too many Persians. Come on, guys. Climb up that hill. Victory or death. Whoops. Come on, guys. Keep climbing up. Keep going. Keep going. Head on through here. Oh man, that's just so many archers. I don't know. I'm trying to help you guys. I really am. Really, but there's only so much I can do. Okay, they need to fix this. I don't know. They just need to fix this, okay? Please fix this. People cannot get through. This is a very big gameplay problem that you desperately need to fix. Because NPCs can only get through by glitching. And maybe over here. Let's try to help them out over here. Come on, get on through. Get in. Not even gonna get bothered with that one. Over here, Romans still can't push. And look at the sheer number of bodies right now. Let's take a look at this side. Lots of archers firing at him. And they're not really getting any reinforcements, so... Okay, look, so over here, Romans have actually managed to push out a little. Well, it's not much, but let me help you guys out. I'm just repeatedly clicking my mouse. And he's dead. There's an archer right there. I wanted to kill him. You know, for only 150,000 troops, not doing too bad. It's just these choke points, dude. I want you guys, at least fight on an open field, man. We should try a couple million Persians versus soldiers. Why can't I kill you? Die. Thank you. Doesn't make much difference, but I mean, it means the Romans can push out a little. And that's the thing that they need. They need to widen the line. Whoops, he died. There's so many archers here. He's dead too. Okay, they're widening their flanks, so that's less kills for the archers, I guess. Over here, still a very big slog, and now there are an awful lot of archers engaging them, so that's not good. Somehow the Romans are pushing forward, though. Slightly. Yep, Romans still dying one by one to the Persians. Romans still can't push this flank over here. Take a look at this side. Romans still can't push this flank over here. How about over here? Romans still not able to push. Over here, Romans have a little bit more success. A few Romans are trickling forward, but they're not doing much. They get through here and there, taking out a few archers. Probably took out a few hundred archers, to be honest. There's just too many Persians. But now it's too close to call. I can't tell. Well, I say too close, but these guys are getting shredded by those archers. Alright, let's go ahead and try to help these guys out. Man, these Romans die fast, don't they? Push them! Kill them all! Yeah, I don't think we're gonna kill them by the time we... There's just too many Persians pushing through, man. I'm only damaging these guys. Yikes. I'll try to hit them in their corners. That's the best bet. Most likely be engaged by multiple troops. Come on. I'm just hitting these guys in the flanks. Ah, great. Now they're pushing. Come on, die! We're actually getting pushed back by these guys. I'm surprised I've been able to live this long. Kill them! Kill them all! Oh man, just look at the top right, 145,000 left versus 500,000. And tens of thousands of those are archers. Most of their archers have survived. I'm about to die. I'm about to die to archers. And I died to archers. It's so hard to push through here. But we're slowly pushing. Come on, we almost got it. Kill them all. Kill them all. We just need to push through and get those archers. I got him. I got him. Come on, why are there still so many of you? Die, please. Oh, that's so many archers. Oh, so many Persians. We're about to break through. We're about to break through. Come on. We must engage those archers. Move, boys, move! I don't care about you. Aww. Okay, but the Romans are finally engaging. You will pay for what you did to my friends! Die! Ah. There are just so many archers on the battlefield right now. We're finally killing those people. And I keep dying. Man, those archers are no joke. But they are shredding. Oh no, there's still more Romans. I mean Persians. It's just Persians mixed with archers mixed with Persians. Look at them, there are so many of them. They break through one line and then another shows up. At least they took out a few of those archers. Over here, still not much luck. So many archers just firing at those Romans. So I got... There's just no place where these guys can climb over, it seems. Over here, these guys are just getting friendly fired. And over here, they've actually broken. These guys are forced to take on these Persians over here. Romans aren't really able to reinforce it fast enough. I mean, they were able to take out a few archers. But honestly, what's a few thousand archers for a couple 100,000 archers? Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I gave them 150,000 archers. Oh, look at all those bodies. Look at that. They're leaving the battlefield and building a new one. This is slow push forward. Yeah, this is not a good place for the Romans to push either, because they're going to get flanked hard by those archers. Over here, they are pushing and killing whatever archers has been annoying them. I think they are. Or they could just ignore them. Okay. We'll take a look at the things over here. Over here, it's, well then. Romans are pushing them, surprisingly. But they are getting hit by an awful lot of archers, too. So, I don't see them lasting very long over here because of the sheer number of archers that are engaging them. That's probably 100,000. That's probably 10,000 archers right there. So yeah, Romans are getting killed faster and faster, and they might actually lose this flank. Over here, no real success. There's an awful lot of archers hitting them. But not as much as the other battlefields that are going on. Over here, still the same slog. No success, no hope for success, no hope for victory. In all honesty, this has been going on for almost 3 hours now. I'm really going to have to call it quits soon because I'm getting really tired. Really expected this to last for a little over an hour, but not this long. And by looks of things, the Romans aren't going to win. The archers are here. They're slaughtering the Romans. Romans did a decent amount of kills. They did their best, but if it were me, I would call for a retreat because this battle's going nowhere. I don't see any place where they can achieve victory. It was fun with these battlefields on the outskirts where they were doing these tens of thousands of kills. But those choke points over here, it's just a really buggy city, and they can't push in a lot of places. They need to fix it. If it were a little better, we could have proper battles, because the AI can't get through some places. They're crawling through walls. I mean, look at this. Look at the sheer number of dead bodies. So we're going to sound the retreat. We're going to make a calm retreat. I'm going to show you the dead bodies first before we call it quits. Because despite the fact that there are a lot of Romans, there's still a lot of archers. I want to take a look at this. That's just a lot of troops that got stuck there somehow. I don't know how you guys let that happen, but okay. I'm gonna take a look at the old battlefields that were happening here. There were a lot of skirmishes outside. A lot of Romans and Persians kept dying. Over here, it's just a huge pile of bodies on this bridge. And there's just rivers of blood. Just whole land masses of bodies. Just look at that. Some reason you can still hear yelling despite the fact that all these guys are dead. Over here, this is where they had the most success, but ended up getting pushed back because the Romans could not get through the bridge fast enough. They couldn't reinforce fast enough, they couldn't push fast enough. It was just a nightmare for them. And they were just slowly pushing forward, then quickly getting pushed back until they ended up getting surrounded in some areas. And over here, it was a bit of a disaster. They spread way too thin. And an army that's just much larger than they are. So they couldn't even cross the bridge. They were just... There was just a huge circle of death here. And just... Look at the piles. Just look at that. It's so high. And even over here, bodies just left for dead. What's left of the Roman forces here. They fought valiantly, but there's just wasn't much they could do. They took out as many archers as they could. Quite a few archers, to be honest. But then they got stuck over here. And there was nothing they could do. Not even the barbarians could push through. They really needed those archers. I mean, just look at this. Battles everywhere. And there are even troops moving in. You see that? There are troops moving in to flank the Romans. That's bad. Okay, now I really have to call it quits. That's an entire army trucking through the desert there. They're all doing their best to get to the Romans. Right. Well, I think... Let's take a look at this. So many troops, so many archers. Yep, and that line is endless. The Romans never really stood a chance. Alright. Let's end it here. First things first. Youch. Romans almost got 1 million kills, but there's 134,000 left. We're calling the retreat. Their generals are dead. There's no point in wasting the lives of special Roman soldiers. It was just endless. They could not win. How unfortunate. Well, this has to be called a Persian victory. This was incredibly deadly for them. Really, honestly, I should have put these Persians someplace safer. And I did not know that was a lake there, so I accidentally killed quite a few. Anyway, that's 250,000 Romans. For some odd reason, footmen. I only gave them 60,000 archers. Versus 150,000. I don't know if that would have changed anything. It probably would have. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here. It's been 3 hours. If you watched this far, well, I do hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please like and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. And good day.